What exactly is 3D printing? Well, 3D printing, which is sometimes called additive manufacturing, is a process used to make three-dimensional solid objects from a digital file. The creation of a 3D printed object is done using additive processes. In an additive process, an object is created by laying down successive layers of material until the entire object is created. During the process, each of the layers can be seen as a thinly sliced horizontal cross-section of the eventual object. The future of 3D printing will take the world by storm and change the world as we know it. Just as smartphones and tablets were such revolutionary devices in the early 21st century, it is likely that 3D printing will have similar effects a decade or so from now. Currently, 3D printing is being used most in the automotive, aerospace, and medical industries, as well as for industrial applications and mainstream or personal use. The automotive industry was one of the very early adopters of 3D printing technology, and for the past 20 years has only used it for low-volume prototyping applications. However, they have evolved from the earlier concepts and are now using this technology for creating functional parts in engines, platforms, and test vehicles. Automakers are also able to create rapid prototypes long before the final production, which gives them ample time to test for quality ahead of production schedules. Another major use is for fabricating customized tools that are used to enhance productivity on the shop floor and the assembly line. The tools are significantly lighter, have better ergonomic designs, can save in overall costs, and reduce project time. Due to the rapidly falling costs and greater availability of 3D printers, this technology is starting to turn heads. One of the major challenges that face the automotive industry using additive manufacturing is that parts are limited to the build size of the 3D printer being used. In addition, applications are limited due to a slim choice of materials that can be used, but the benefit of production problem solving far outweighs these negatives. One of the well-known examples of this technology comes from Jay Leno's garage. Not only was he a former host of The Tonight Show, but he is also an avid collector of vintage cars. Leno uses rapid form 3D technology to recreate obsolete parts for his cars. When the Wright brothers achieved powered flight, they made a great impact on human history. Their discovery created a new option for traveling, fighting, moving products, and also a new way to view the world. However, airplane weight has always presented a challenge. While the Wright brothers' plane weighed 605 pounds, a current Boeing 787 Dreamliner can have a max weight of over 500,000 pounds. That's a pretty significant weight increase since the Wright brothers first flew in 1903. The commercial aim of aviation has always been to have the lightest, most fuel-efficient planes, and 3D printing is the technology that could help achieve that goal. A team from the University of Southampton was tasked building an entire plane with 3D printing. The plane in question was not very big and was more like a radio-controlled plane a hobbyist would use. But the idea of taking what was once a difficult design to manufacture and easily recreating it with a 3D printer opens up a world of possibilities for designers and engineers. General Electric is one of the companies in aviation making headway using 3D printers in aviation. While GE isn't creating an entire plane using 3D printing, they do make their T25 sensor with it. In the past, it required 18 components to be welded together in order to make one T25 sensor. However, thanks to 3D printing, they no longer need to piece together all those components. Instead, they just print one solid part. In the long run, 3D technology will allow GE to save money on material, weight, and time when creating critical engine parts. 3D printing in the medical industry is rapidly advancing with new ideas and experiments occurring frequently. Early medical uses for 3D printing consisted of prototyping parts, devices, or instruments. However, several advancements have been made over the last few years in the specific medical, dental, and veterinary fields. In the veterinary and medical fields, 3D printers have been used to fabricate medical models based on CT scans taken of a skull of another bone. By doing this, it allows veterinarians and doctors to perform pre-surgery analysis and practice the procedures they will be doing. The knowledge gained by using the 3D printing models cuts down the necessary surgery time, which also decreases the length of time the patient is under anesthesia and lessens the chance of infection as a final result. 3D advancements in the medical industry are trending more towards biology-based innovations. Researchers at the Yale School of Medicine's Department of Surgery and the Yale School of Engineering and Applied Science have collaborated with a leading 3D bioprinting company to create 3D printed tissues for transplant research. This tissue engineering could ultimately lead to the ability to print 3D organs for research and eventually transplant. As an additional benefit, by using cells from a patient's own body to produce the tissue or organ, it may also eliminate or reduce the need for immunosuppressive drugs and their potential severe side effects. It's inevitable that we'll see 3D printers used in everyday life sooner rather than later. One of the big reasons 3D printing is expected to be such a big success is because it can range from different shapes and sizes to suit the needs of big multinationals, small businesses, and even personal use. Printing is also increasing its importance in manufacturing industries today. 3D printing technology is being used to produce parts, prototypes, and sometimes even finished goods. According to a survey, 2/3 of 100 top manufacturing companies now use 3D printing technology for prototyping and production usages. 3D printing's effectiveness is not the only reason for its growing demand. The cost of 3D printing is much less than a traditional industrial manufacturing process and is decreasing as this technology is becoming more advanced. As a bonus, 3D printing technology also saves a considerable amount of labor costs because of the minimal supervision required. Ultimately, 3D printing helps companies save large amounts of money by reducing some fixed cost, which may be the reason why the majority of top manufacturers choose to use 3D printing technology. While the concept of 3D printing has been used for years, we are still in the infancy stage of utilizing it to its full potential. Advancements seem to occur frequently, which only bodes well for the future of 3D printing and its seemingly endless possibilities. But hold on to your seats, folks. 4D printing is on the horizon, and who knows where that will take us.